My sister said I'm not good enough for my boyfriend. She doesn't know I heard.
Well, what does she know?
Firstly, my sister and this group of friends are what I would consider my closest friends. I don't like my sister and this group of friends.
It's true.
I love these girls to death. I love my sister to death.
Aww.
I literally tried to donate a kidney for one of them, and now I'm 100% heartbroken.
Here's my kidney.
My boyfriend is an amazing guy. Kind, funny, smart as heck, and pretty much a model.
Ooh.
He's just gorgeous and a... This isn't a problem for me, and we worked it out. He's also very open to it, and everyone knows, which I entirely support. By the way, this comes from TRWWW Assist Help. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. We were supposed to hang out a week ago, but after spending about half an hour, his job called him, and he had to leave. This didn't bother me a lot because I had a unaliver headache and went home.
Bad headache?
Yeah, I had a bad headache and went home. My sister and I share an apartment. To save money, we have a year-long lease, so I guess I'm screwed. Long story short, I closed my door, didn't light up, and took a nap. Next thing I know, I wake up to my sister's voice. She and those friends were at our house, and from what I heard, they were going to a club and were drinking a bit, waiting for others. I didn't get up because I was lazy. I would have to put on pants. And then they started talking about me. I'm not proud, but I was curious. They were talking about how they couldn't believe I was dating my boyfriend, how he was too good for me, I was too ugly to get a guy like him. My sister then started telling how being asexual is obviously an excuse to not have spicy sleep with me.
Oh, icky. I hate that. Oh, okay. So she has no valid things to say.
I'm not pretty. Aw.
Yes, you are.
And while it does make me insecure, I know I have other good characteristics, but it is very hard hearing that. Also, like half of being hot is personality.
Confidence.
Yeah, and confidence.
Yeah.
So they also made fun of my learning disability. They called the R word, which I can't even effing write it, that I wasn't even financially stable. They made fun of my job. They said I had to beg to be effed. All of my friends laughed, and all of them crap talked to me.
Those aren't your friends.
I was crying pretty hard at that point. They left, and I didn't know what to do. I went to bed and basically made myself scarce this week. I get up earlier, get home later, or stay at my boyfriend's. I answer their messages, but was somewhat cold. I know I have to talk with them, even if it's just to cut off contact, but I can't open my mouth right now. I feel so ashamed and sad. My boyfriend is also worried, but I can't get what they said from my head. I know it's not true, and my boyfriend is, but I feel like I'm not worth being with him. My sister is my best friend. I don't know if she is, if she's acting like that.
Yeah, you thought she was your best friend.
I effing told her how I feel too ugly and stupid to be with him. I showed her our messages and we spoke about his asexuality. I love her so much it hurts. I can't stop looking at her knowing she was saying those things behind my back and that none of my friends said anything. I just don't know what to do. I could break my lease, I guess, even though it would be very expensive, but I don't know how to say why I'm doing it or how I can face them. And this is why OP said earlier, like, oh, my lease is a year-long lease, so I guess I'm screwed. I don't know if I should tell my boyfriend. And we got an edit. We got some updates. What do you think, Sophia?
Well,
should OP tell the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Should OP confront the sister about the terrible things that the sister said about
also,
OP
yes.
and the boyfriend? Tell me what you think.
I think absolutely. I think you can have a conversation with your boyfriend and say, hey, I overheard this really awful stuff. Get some support from your partner. I think absolutely confront these people that you thought were, I mean, especially your sister, like that someone's going to be in your life kind of in some way or other forever. Obviously you can go no contact, but like she's still connected to you in a way that your friends are not. So absolutely confront her. It seems like she's dealing with some heavy feelings of jealousy. But I think kind of beyond all of that confrontation and, talking to these people, I think I'm also kind of sensing a lot of insecurity in you. that maybe this is something we go to therapy for, because it's super normal to have feelings of insecurity, but it feels like you are convinced that you're not pretty, that you're not worthy of your partner. And it's like, your partner's with you for a reason.
Yeah.
It seems like your partner is attracted to you, even if that's not necessarily like they don't have a spicy attraction, because that's just not how they operate.
Yeah, they're with you for a reason. You have a lot of great qualities. I think that you just need to rediscover in yourself and know that you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, disgusting behavior from the sister.
Disgusting.
But let us see where this edit leads us. So edit, I can't explain how much you guys rock. Thank you so much for the advice, support, and tough love. It has truly helped me, and it warms my heart to see so many people taking their time to write a stranger on the internet. I'm trying to respond to all the comments, but if I haven't, please know I have read it and consider it. I promise I will talk with my boyfriend tomorrow. We're going to his place, and I'll probably just show him this post. And edit 2. Hey guys, thank you again so much for all the messages and well wishes. It truly made a moment of pain more bearable, and it made me feel better to know there are so many of those who care. I really need to sleep now, but I will do my best to respond to the comments tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. And now we have the updates.
Woo.
So, hey, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for the messages and comments on my last post. It truly helped me get out of bed and face the day. I showed my boyfriend the last post because I didn't know how I could say it. He was very sad and disappointed, but he said he has had his fair number of a-holes, but he mostly felt angry for me and agreed with the majority of advice that I should confront her. I think this is good. This is good. You went to the boyfriend first, and now you got your team.
Yeah, and also he's able to kind of, reassure you that what they're saying is not true.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
We decided a letter would be the best choice since I actually write a lot of letters and it's not direct confrontation. I like writing letters for moments, like letters for when a person is sad, happy, angry, scared. So I do have some technique, but this was with no doubt the hardest thing I ever wrote. I decided to go for simple and blunt. I told her I heard what they said about me. And while I was willing to work on a relationship, I needed some distance from her and this whole situation. I talked with my landlord, and she was super sweet and had no problem breaking the lease. I offered to find someone to take up my place, but apparently she has someone that could use the room. That's cool. I intended to pack and leave a letter on her bed, but she came home early and caught me. I basically said F it to myself and told her I heard what they were saying, that I wasn't good enough, and calling me names. First, she tried to deny it, which I was not having. Gaslighting, crazy. Then she tried to justify and say I was overreacting, but I just stared at her. Then she finally started to apologize and cry.
Dang, she went through all of the emotions.
All the emotion. I mean, I feel like she just went through all of the excuses.
Yeah, she was like, deny, your fault, tears.
Yeah.
Feel bad for me.
I mean, I feel like because it happened in such a quick sequence, it just feels like the apology is...
Oh, it's fake.
Like nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Dirt.
Then she finally started to apologize and cry. At that moment, I actually thought we might be able to save the relationship, but then she started making herself a victim.
Yerp.
The main points were, 1, I just can't understand how hard it is to be pretty.
Ooh. She's like, you just don't understand pretty privilege and how much of a burden it is.
2, I don't understand how she feels because I'm used to not being the best.
Wow, this is the worst apology I've ever heard.
3, it's not fair I get a gorgeous boyfriend who is completely out of my league while she's single.
I wonder why we're single.
4, she feels embarrassed when we go out together and she has to tell people that my boyfriend is actually mine, not hers. 5, she knows it doesn't exist and we're just doing it for attention.
Oh, wow. She really sucks.
Wow.
She really sucks.
That is, we've seen a lot of bad apologies on this show.
We so have.
But that is the most tone deaf, insane apology.
Oh, it got worse.
It got worse with every point.
Yeah.
I just kind of froze. I wish I had said something, but I couldn't open my mouth. She then said she was going out to recover from our traumatic conversation and left.
That's crazy because what it feels like is OP said, hey, like, I overheard you said these kind of really terrible things. And then she went, no, I didn't. Okay, I did, but it's your fault for being ugly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you don't understand what it feels like to be pretty because you're ugly and it actually doesn't exist. And you just will never understand how it feels when people think that I'm your boyfriend's girlfriend and that I have to tell them that I'm not. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
And then she's beautiful. Like, I'm done with this traumatic conversation. I'm leaving. You had a conversation with yourself. That was a monologue, girl.
That was a monologue.
That was a soliloquy.
So she then said she was going to leave this traumatic conversation and left. I just packed the rest of my things and left the letters on her bed. I'm currently at my boyfriend's place, but I'm looking for a free room that is not super far from my job. I also wrote and sent letters to my friends and then blocked their social media /contacts. I'm certain they'll find a way to approach me as we work close, but I can't give an F. But I want you to give an F about listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, and we're going to get into it. So besides all that, last Friday I had a dinner with my parents. I gave them an edited version of what happened because I don't want to talk about my spicy sleep life. And that I broke the lease, blocked my friends, and they said I shouldn't be angry because it was true.
Who said that?
The parents.
Oh, what?
Your parents said
the friends or the parents?
The parents.
Your parents
What?
said you shouldn't be angry at your sister because it's true that you're ugly?
And that the first time they met my boyfriend, they thought I was playing a prank.
Wow, your parents are awful people, and I understand where your sister gets it.
My dad then started saying I was being very selfish by breaking the lease, and I, crap you not, betraying my sister's trust, and that you don't do this with family. So yeah, I've been ignoring them since that happened, as well as my sister. Overall, I'm fine. I actually feel more tired than angry or sad. And there are some relevant comments, but oh my God.
I understand why you have low self-esteem.
Yeah, I mean, this is golden child syndrome for sure.
Yeah, your whole family is telling you that you're ugly and unlovable. Yeah, you're going to take that to heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Therapy for this one for sure. Relevant comments. This is a little bit off topic, but I'm curious as to how your relationship dynamic works with your boyfriend. I don't know too much about / you mentioned you have a disability. So if it isn't too personal for me to ask, how does your relationship work? How do you go about a spicy sleep life? I don't mean to be offensive or nosy, so apologies in advance. I'm just curious. OP responds, don't worry, is a scale. Just like hetero / attracted to the same gender is a scale. At one side, you have asexuality, and on the other side, you have
allosexuality.
What's that?
Wanting to have spicy sleep.
Between, you have different shades of gray. Some people don't feel spicy attraction, but don't really care about having spicy sleep if it makes their partners happy. Some really don't want to do it. Some only feel spicy attraction for those they have an emotional connection. It's a very diverse community. As for the obstacles of dating an asexual man, I guess it mostly falls into what you consider a deal breaker. What are your needs, etc. I can live without spicy sleep. I can live happy without spicy sleep. Again, it's about compromise. There are other things in my relationship that are more important to me than spicy sleep, and they are being met, so I'm happy. I guess it just goes down to if you can't date someone without spicy sleep, that's okay. If you can, that's okay too. The only thing that is wrong is crapping on other people. And OP on if her parents always treated her sister as the golden child.
Yup.
We were talking about that earlier. I checked it out, and some people sent links to me. And I believe they did treat her as a golden child. Things like having to give her my clothes if she liked them, or having to eat her food if she didn't want it anymore. I don't know. I can see how some of the things they did were terrible, but saying they were harmful sounds too extreme.
Yeah. Well, you got your partner. You guys know what you want and are happy in your relationship. Your family sucks.
Yeah, I feel like you need to create a lot of distance between your family.
So much distance. The fact that they're like literally creating insecurities in you and probably have done that your whole life. Get those people out of there.
Yeah.
Get those people out of there.
Yeah, no, this is pretty bad, but I'm glad that OP is taking the steps now.
Yeah.
To finally, I think like finally be themselves.
Also therapy.
Also, therapy.
I told my sister to leave her husband because we don't like him.
I mean, it sounds like he's unlikable.
Trigger warning, emotional. My sister, 28, is in an emotionally harmful marriage, and she has admitted that to me. I played nice to her husband, 30, for the past few years, even though I know how he truly was to her behind closed doors. The incident that happened that finally made me and my whole family step up and say something to him and her was this. By the way, this comes from Hyper Ashley, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, we went on a week-long family trip, and at the end of the trip, he treated her so badly. There was a theater room in the rental house, and we were all watching a movie. He asked her to get up from her comfortable chair to go and cuddle with him. She declined because her chair was more comfortable than his, and she was in front of her entire family and didn't want to cuddle. The entire next day after the cuddling incident, he stonewalled her. He would hold their 11-month-old son and not let her have him, even when the baby called out for his mama. After lunch, we decided to walk along a boardwalk, and that's when things took a turn for the worst. During the car ride, none of the family was in the car with them. He said he didn't know what the F was wrong with her, and that he was going to go home when we all got back to the rental. Then he finished with a F you. My sister said she didn't say anything back to him, 1, because she was in shock, and 2, because she didn't know what she did to make him so angry.
The cuddle incident, of course.
My family naturally saw how upset my sister was and stepped in. My mom and I took the baby from him and took my sister aside while my dad and my husband had a talk with him. My dad told him he was acting like a little witch and to go home if he was going to act like that. My husband said, "Let's go get the car seat out of your car and you can leave." He then opened up to my husband and said, when she refused to cuddle with me, it made me feel like she was disgusted by me.
Oh my God. Get over it.
Get over it.
Give yourself a hug. It's much needed, my friend. Maybe, I don't know, get like a snake so you can get a little,
give you a really tight hug.
Little tight hug. Your last hug, maybe. Get that anaconda wrapped around a little python.
He decided not to go home after all. Dang. And instead have an adult conversation with my sister where he told her it was her fault that he acted that way. Was that an adult conversation? He continued
defining this adult conversation.
He continued to stonewall her for the rest of the trip and the next 2 days after they got back home. Before we left the rental, I told my sister she should leave him because we all are afraid that he will turn physically harmful towards her and maybe their son too.
All right. I don't think this guy is emotionally
not that we know
mature.
Yeah,
but if there's other information that we haven't seen, like maybe that's true, but I think it is a stretch based on the information right now to say that he might become physically abusive.
I think, however, I do think it is always a risk when you see someone being emotionally harmful. That is always a possibility, and I think it is better to be more...
I feel like what I'm seeing is like he's just being like a little pouty baby.
I think that is kind of limiting because he's screaming at her for not sitting.
Oh, that's true. He did say the F you.
Yeah. I think
he was screaming.
I think that would limit...
He was screaming.
What he's doing. He's highly unstable and has pew-pews because he's a cop. Also, he's in mandatory therapy from his work because they too think he's unstable. Uh-oh.
Red alert.
Note, a few things I forgot to mention. This happened a few weeks ago, and my sister and brother-in-law have since had a discussion. She has decided to stay with him, but she is looking for a therapist for herself. I hope the therapist tells her to leave. She asked him to go to couples counseling, but he refused. He got a job in a different state and is now going to be moving them a few states away from everyone. No. He's isolating her.
Yeah.
She will be at least 6 hours away, and we're all so scared for her, but we can't force her to leave him.
Yeah, no, this does feel like it does feel like it's entering into a situation that's going to be harder and harder to get out of.
Yep. Comment 1 says you have to be completely dangerous before your employer steps in with mandatory therapy. Don't just tell your sister to leave. Tell her to come and stay with you and bring the baby. Keep telling her over and over she needs to go to therapy as well. OP says, I've told her repeatedly that she and the baby have a room at my house, and I've also encouraged her to go to therapy. Comment 2 says, not the a-hole. Him being a cop is a huge problem if he acts like this. I bet he only tells that work-related therapist what they want to hear. He's probably a great actor at work. I hope your sister can see a therapist too, because I don't think she sees the harm through her eyes. It sounds like he has already affected her confidence. I pray she gets the help she needs. OP says she is currently looking for a therapist. And there is an update.
Okay.
My sister sat down with him and told him that she was looking for a therapist and that she was unsure about the move. He seems to think it's because of her anxiety about it being such a big move and nothing more. He did tell her that he could look for a job in our state if she really wanted to, but she decided she wanted to focus on going to therapy first to learn how to communicate better with him. She found a therapist and was emailing with them to set up an appointment when her husband suddenly decided they needed to get their house listed. I feel like he deliberately waited for her to find a therapist to do this. He doesn't know when his new job starts. He's scheduled to go back to police academy for 6 months starting in June, which means they really wouldn't be moving until probably around mid to late May. So why would they need to list their house right now? Like I said, it seems very calculated and deliberate to stop her from going to therapy, and it worked. I feel like I have done...
I'm seeing I feel like, one of these situations would be a coincidence, but it's just multiple that just makes me believe that he is isolating her and stopping her from getting the help that she needs to understand that this situation is absolutely effed.
Agreed. I feel like I have done everything I can for my sister at this time. She knows if she ever needs anything, I'll be there. But that's all I can do. And there is a second update.
Oh my goodness. This is not looking good though.
No.
This is not looking good at all.
Since my sister decided not to go to therapy, I have noticed some changes. For one thing, when I went to their house last weekend, I noticed that my brother-in-law now parks behind my sister's car, blocking her in.
Oh, no.
He never used to park his truck there, so I thought it was weird that he suddenly started.
Red flag. Where's the button? Press the button, Keon.
My sister now acts as if the big incident never happened, just like her husband does. She did ask my mom and I to not bring it up anymore and to play nice. She really wants to make the marriage work and wants to, quote, give him another chance.
Oh, Jesus.
Obviously, the rest of the family feel a little disappointed and very scared for her. I have since had to tell our mom to not call me and rant about my sister anymore. The stress of that situation was taking me to a dark place mentally, and I will not go there again, especially for someone that is clearly not ready. My mom seemed a little disappointed in me for prioritizing my own mental health over my sister's.
But again, you got to fill your cup before you can fill other people's
There's
cup.
There's only so much that you guys can do.
Yeah, and
if she's not willing.
And if you, I think everyone's mental bandwidth to help others is different. And if you get into too dark of a place, you won't be able to help her. So it's like, I think OP needs to also prioritize her own mental health.
But she'll just have to deal with that. I have my own husband and life to put my energy in, and I feel much happier not thinking about my sister's relationship all the time. My own therapist has reassured me that I have done everything that I can and that my sister just isn't ready to leave her husband yet. Update 3. Okay, so a few things have happened since I last updated. First of all, my sister and her husband did not end up moving, thank goodness. He had a psych evaluation for the new job, and a week later was told he was no longer a good fit.
Wow.
And for the police, for police officers, he's got to be pretty unfit to, So that's one crisis averted. The rest of the family have only had to see him once since the terrible trip on my nephew's first birthday. He barely spoke to anyone, which was fine with us because we didn't want to be around him anyway. We're planning another family trip in September, a kind of redo. When my sister told her husband about it, he said, "You realize I'm not going, right?" She told him that was fine, but that she was still going, and she was taking their son. Good on her. This is a good sign.
Yeah.
I want everyone who's very worried about this. This is a good sign that she is standing up for herself. He said he figured she would. By the way, I figure that you guys should listen to a full episode of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Boom.
There is a little bit left to the story. I do feel like we're going in
the right direction. Wait, so
direction.
What just happened here? They took the kid?
Basically, they said that they're planning a family trip. And she's like, I'm going. He's like, I don't want to go. And she's like, okay, fine. but I'm going with the kid.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
leaving.
I feel like it's a small step that he might be okay with, but maybe it'll give her like the freedom to realize, oh, like I can feel good without him. Maybe like I think, often when you're in an abusive relationship, you don't even know how good it can feel outside of it.
Exactly. Exactly. Like taking time apart
sanctuary.
from him. They're not moving, and he's not in this job that provides him with a weapon.
Yeah.
This is good.
Win.
But there's a little bit more to the story.
Cool.
I have a gut feeling that even though she says she's going, that she won't end up going. No.
Oh, no.
I think a few weeks before I'll start acting out, so she won't go, but we'll see. My mom still calls me to vent, but I think I upset her last week. My mom said she felt bad for my sister for always being in the middle and having to try to figure out how to make everyone happy. I told her I did not feel bad for my sister anymore because she chose that when she chose to stay with him. When she chose to stay with him, she had to know that the rest of us would never see him the same and that we don't like him. It's very hard on the mind. That even though she chose to forgive him, the rest of us can't simply forget how he treated her. My mom was clearly upset that I could be so heartless, but I just don't have the time and energy to constantly worry about my sister, especially when she chose this by staying with him. My sister knows if she needs me, I'm there for her, and I feel like that's the most important thing.
And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can
do.
be there for her. You can serve as a mirror for her. Use the Socratic method and ask questions, but you can't really say you gotta leave.